Namaste. Welcome to Yoga and Wisdom of Nature. I'm Dana Saray, and I'm here in Rishikesh at Paramath Nikketan Ashram at the banks of the Ganga, and I'm here with the beautiful Anandra George. Such an honor to be with you, Anandra. And you have a teacher training in the yoga of sound and are such an expert in Sanskrit, sacred Sanskrit, and this power of using mantra to really bring us deeper into our unity, into yoga, and find balance. All that yoga brings for us. So thank you for being a part of this.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah. So we're speaking of the wisdom of nature, and you were just mentioning how Sanskrit is really designed to bring us into that connection to nature. It really is the vibration of nature. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah. So this is a passionate topic for me, and it kind of requires us to take our mental ability, our perspective way up to consider creation, and so to consider ourselves as consciousness moving into form, like that, to imagine yourself as that creative consciousness. How do you become the universe? How does that single point that is both everything and nothing, how does that become all of this? So that's something that through their powers of inner inquiry, the rishis, the yogis with that inner sight could hear the subtle sounds of nature, and they could hear the primal vowels and these really what feel to me like different kind of thrusts of being, the overflow of bliss into creation itself. And so there's actually a sequence through the 50 letters of the Sanskrit alphabet that reflects the echo of being, or of consciousness becoming being. Wow. It's really deep.
Wow.
Yeah. So you see what I mean when I say you have to kind of go.
Yeah, so
way,
it's
way
sort
up.
of like pre-form.
Yes.
When we're in that process of even incarnating maybe, or bringing the spirit down into matter.
Absolutely.
There's this sequence, you're saying, that is reflected in the Sanskrit alphabet.
Yes.
Incredible.
Exactly.
Incredible.
And what's so interesting about that, I mean, there's many interesting things about that, but most of us are really unaware of how our thoughts create matter. I mean, maybe in the last 10 or 15 years there's kind of more popular awareness about that, with the Secret movie and What the Bleep Do You Know, and that sort of thing. And probably the yogi community is a bit further along on the edge with that. But for me to understand the Sanskrit from that point of view, it just brings it to a whole nother level of understanding how, I mean, the word Samskritam can be translated as to put together the subtle form. So literally the sound is the subtle form. I mean, we have these bodies, right? And most of us tend to think that we are these bodies. We identify with the body. But we also know that we are more than that. We have a mind, which is not confined to the body. We have a spirit. We have breath. We have, the bliss body as well, if you want to use the terminology of the Panchakoshas, the 5 sheaths of consciousness. We have these different subtle layers of our being, and the sound is permeating all of that. We are actually vibration.
Yeah.
And so when I really started to nerd out on the Sanskrit sounds, not the grammar, the sound, it made me realize that when I'm thinking or speaking or chanting these sounds, I'm literally creating forms. I'm vibrating into being, into tangible being, some elemental or archetypal energies. And that's why they have such a profound effect.
Wow.
And that's why you don't have to know the meaning. If you're pronouncing the sound accurately, the meaning itself will reveal to you. It's so cool.
It's powerful. It really is empowering, isn't it? To understand that through the vibration we speak, we are creating.
Absolutely.
And then that
And
this
scary.
science, and that this science allows us to take it to a whole new level.
Yeah. And that's essentially what the mantra yoga is. That they even on a broader terminology like the nadayoga, the yoga of sound, is the science of that, the metaphysical, beyond physical science of creation. So it can be on the micro level, like Dana and her wonderful life, as it impacts and resounds into creation, or it can be on the meta level of like being consciousness, pondering, creating a universe.
Wow. Can you give us an example? I think it would be really cool to offer, the audience a mantra and I know we don't have to know the meaning, but even to know maybe what there might be, what this particular sound is bringing into form.
Yeah, sure. Probably the easiest way to really get that is on the short one-syllable mantras.
Yeah.
The bija mantras. Because the bija, it means the seed. So you think of a seed, and the seed carries, all of the history of the plant and all of the future of the plant in this one present moment, like this seed.
Wow, so powerful, isn't it?
It's like everything that came before is in the DNA of that seed, and all of the, if it's an apple tree, all of the apples and all of the apples and all of the the baby apples making their baby apples will all be in that seed. So there's extraordinary power in that. And so we have bija mantras, which are a similar, concept. Again, nature, right?
Yeah,
seeds,
right.
nature. Hey. So for whatever reason, the one that's coming to me to share is the bija mantra for penetrating into the deepest layers of the heart. And therefore it's also, so it's known as the bija mantra for the spiritual heart chakra. And it's also known as the bija mantra for Mahamaya, for the great illusion. Like the veil of the senses and the elements, these different sensory experiences that we have that appear to separate us from one another. Right?
Okay.
I mean, we hear we're all one.
Right, but we sort of feel
when
like...
do you really...
I'm me over here, you're over there.
I'm me over here.
There's a veil of separation
theoretically
here.
we're one, but I don't know, you did something I don't like, and so maybe we're not all one today, or whatever, like that. But the Mahamaya, separates us through the veil of the senses. Because I have a different skin boundary. You know, I can touch you, but you really appear to be, you know, a little warmer than me, and whatever, right? We seem different.
Yeah.
But when we're in the heart, it's a little easier to just see that this is flimsy.
Yes.
Yeah. So the bija mantra for that starts with a hissing sound in the throat. So it starts with ha, 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 and you can feel the energy in the throat. Ha, ha, and and then the next part. So it's ha, ra, I, so it's 4 letters. The next part is a ra sound, which is the letters. Ha is like obviously breath, prana. You know, in order to stoke the fire, you need the breath. The ra sound is the letter of fire.
Ra.
Ra. And in order to make the ra sound in the accurate position in your vocal production capacity, and to stimulate the accurate nerve endings for the full metaphysical experience of the mantra, you want to curl your tongue back just a little bit. So like if you take your tongue at the back of your upper front teeth and then come back about 1 centimeter until you feel kind of a ridgy spot, and then keep coming back in about maybe another 1/2 centimeter, and then you feel how it kind of goes up and in. There's like a little divot there, or a little cave. That's where your tongue should touch.
Okay.
On the ra. Try
Ra.
it. Ra.
Ra.
Yeah, but try not to lock your jaw. Everybody does it.
Ra.
Ra. Yeah.
Ra.
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 Yeah.
Oh, that's different.
It's a new spot. Yeah. You're welcome. And then E. E.
E.
E.
E.
Yeah. And if you say E, usually you'll smile.
Yeah.
And there's a bit of pressure in the back of the palate. So, E. And even if you put your fingers on your occiput, E. You feel some vibration there? E. Yeah. E. So that's another one of the Sanskrit mouth positions. And then So is it's called anusvara in Sanskrit. It's the dot on the om. You know, you have the om and then the dot. It's kind of it symbolizes the creation going back into nothingness. So it dissolves kind of through a single point. And when we use it, the way that I was taught anyway, when you are doing the bija mantra, you want to not just say with the lips. So if you say and where do you feel the vibration?
The lips then also kind of in the roof of the mouth.
Yeah, kind of. But mostly for most people, it's in the front of the face. Yeah. Now say but allow your tongue to just kind of like float up to the roof of your mouth and make contact. You don't have to press it or anything. Just
Contact.
Now where do you feel the vibration?
On the roof. And,
Yeah.
more full feeling.
Yeah. That's exactly that. So what that does is that it distributes the sound rather than kind of dispersing it through the front of the face. You're pulling the sound is kind of coming back and in, and it's more evenly distributed in your cranium.
Feel that.
And if you were to practice that for even 10 minutes, you'd probably start to feel that point on the top of your crown, and you might feel the sound dissolving back into silence through your Sahasrara chakra.
So that with the we dissolve.
Exactly. Yeah. We don't just dissipate it out. We
reconnect.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So those are the 4 parts of the mantra, and then we have breath and fire and E. The E sound is a sound of Ichha Shakti, or the power of divine will, and like the thrust of manifestation. So it has a very kind of penetrating quality to it. And that's like the
arrow.
Laser in.
Yeah.
And then takes all of that and dissolves it back. So it might sound, if you were going to practice it at home, it might sound something like Hari, Hari, Hari. You want to give it a try?
Sure.
Yeah? So, ha, ra, e,
Wow.
Yeah.
Powerful. Beautiful.
It's so powerful.
Yeah. I'm curious, you spoke a little bit earlier about how these sound vibrations can help bring us into balance when we might feel a little out of balance. Our world is pretty out of balance these days, and there's a lot of, turbulence on planet Earth. And how can we use the mantras in the way you're describing to find more balance?
Well, on a very practical level, anything is better than chasing after yet another sensory experience, thinking that it's going to be fulfilling. I mean, we have epidemic addiction all over the Western world and in the Eastern world as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, addiction comes from non-fullness inside, and so any kind of true yoga practice is going to bring you in. And in the teachings of yoga, they are very clear that you don't have to go anywhere to find anything. That actually that state of perfect peace and fullness is inside of you. The only problem is that you have a bad habit of looking outside.
Absolutely.
And that could be outside to Facebook, or it could be outside even to a guru. If you're not doing your own practice, like taking personal responsibility for turning your focus in, then there's nothing a guru can do for you. Really.
Yeah.
They can give you a point of light, but you have to go there. So doing any kind of mantra practice, carving out that time and space where your intention is to use the sound to go within and just listen. Like actually rest in the space and listen. A lot of us also have a lot of confusion about what we're supposed to do and what's our highest path and how are we supposed to actualize our dreams, or what is our dream even. And a mantra practice is such a powerful way to give your inner voice a chance to be heard.
Yeah.
Because it's talking to you all the time. You're just not listening, right? We're not listening. It's always just like,
beautiful.
I'm here.
Yeah.
When are you going to pay attention
Turn
to me?
within and listen to that inner voice.
And for that, I mean, it's kind of like maybe not the best thing for a mantra teacher to say, but any mantra will do. I mean, the Sanskrit mantras have a weight and a power, and because of what I explained about the Sanskrit, they have a extra power for that to create that vibrational atmosphere. But anything, but it has to be a practice that's alive with listening. If you're just doing it because someone told you it was a good thing to do, and you're like ticking it off your list as one more thing on your to-do list, or you're doing it in a rote way or a mechanical way, or like we're here in India, and I can't tell you how many people I know, they do it because they're afraid of what'll happen if they don't.
That feels important. To bring your intentionality, your awareness, your aliveness.
You have to bring your it's better you just don't do it unless you're going to do it. Even 5 minutes of that is better than hours of because what are you going for? You want, like, there's a magic moment in the space, in the stillness between the sounds, and that's where the life is.
So listen to that.
Listen to that. Give yourself the luxury, of having some space and, what I like to call like a long thought. Because most of our day is so reactive. We're reacting or responding to stimulation all day, especially if you roll out of bed and check your phone and your email or whatever. It's just
right off the
all
bat.
Of a sudden, there you go. There goes your awareness off chasing the thing. And it's hard to get it back. So, having a sound-based practice where you actually rope in the power of your mind. Because your awareness has the power, actually. But if you're allowing it to chase the external things, then it will.
Right.
Because you're giving it that power. But if you, use the mantra, which is the yoga of the mind, the manastrana, that which sets you free and protects from the ordinary mind. It's the yoga for the mind. Then, you start harnessing that awareness power to look inside. And that's where everything is.
Beautiful.
That's where all of your wisdom and all the answers to any question you could ever want to know.
And all your joy in there as well.
Yeah, it's just normal. It's natural. You don't have to.
Well, I love that you really brought that piece in. That mantra is really about harnessing the mind and giving the mind a place to rest into. And we live in a world where you're absolutely right. We need the medicine of how to work with the mind. That's number one. Number one.
So.
How can we learn to bring ourselves back to the present moment as opposed to being in our stories and be present. It's so beautiful. Be awake.
I mean, especially in the yoga community in the West. I mean, it has gone to extraordinary lengths to achieve levels of physical health and flexibility and attaining, very difficult postures that, usually only teenage boys would attempt. You know what I mean? And there's, I mean, I haven't lived in the mainland United States for, I don't know, more than 15 years. I'm a bit out of it. But from what I gather on my visits, there's not a whole lot of mastery of the mind that's really being cultivated. It's more...
It's still very physical, but it is starting.
I feel that shift.
I feel it
the
shifting.
Tide is turning.
And that's really, it's why we do these conversations, have
Yeah.
these offerings, and really have Hanuman Academy so that we can deepen the conversation and really, I think absolutely, working with the mind it's just, we're ready. I think yogis in the West, we're absolutely ready
Yeah.
to really learn this power of working with the mind, and mantra is just an amazing tool. So
It
yeah,
is the
thank
yoga
you.
for all of the other bodies.
Right.
I mean, it affects the physical body as well.
Right.
But if you have the 5 koshas, the 5 sheaths of your being, mantra is the yoga for all 5.
Well, I'm so happy that you're doing the work you're doing in the world.
It's so fun.
To bring mantra and the power of mantra to the world. So thank you so much for that, and for being here with us, and for you're coming to Hanuman Festival this year.
Yeah.
And
I know, I'm so excited.
Yeah, just excited to keep being together with you on this journey, on this path. So
Thank you. Yeah.
thank you so much, and for sharing that practice with us, and thank you all for tuning in today. Yes, thank you, Ananda.
We'll keep learning together.
We will.
It's just the beginning.
Just the beginning. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.